top 7 value keyboards for 2026. Stop buying keyboards from those big gamer brands you see in Best Buy. Seriously, put the $200 plastic slab down because right now in 2026, you can get a keyboard that sounds better, feels better, and is built like a literal tank for a third of the price. The keyboard market has completely flipped, and if you aren't paying attention, you are practically throwing money into a furnace. It's 2026, and we are officially living in the golden age of mechanical keyboards. A few years ago, if you wanted a keyboard that sounded like creamy marble or thocky rain, you had to spend $500, wait 9 months for a group buy. Now, you can get that same experience delivered to your door tomorrow for the price of a couple of pizzas. But here's the trap. There are too many options, like way too many. So, I've waded through the sea of budget boards, tested the hyped-up trash against the actual hidden gems, and narrowed it down to the only 7 keyboards you should actually care about this year. The Ajazz AK820 Pro. Let's start with the absolute budget king for people who want all the bells and whistles without eating instant noodles for a month. This is the Ajazz AK820 Pro. Listen, usually when a keyboard costs under $60, it sounds like a bag of rusty Legos, but this thing? It is terrifyingly good. It comes with a little TFT screen. Yes, a real screen. And a volume knob, which used to be features reserved for boards that cost 3 times as much. The typing feel is gasket mounted. If you don't know what that means, imagine the plate inside the keyboard is resting on little foam pillows instead of being screwed into hard plastic. When you type, the keys have a little bounce to them. It feels soft, feels expensive, and the sound, it's pre-lubed, meaning the switches are smooth right out of the box. No scratching, no pinging noises. If you are a student, or you're building your first setup and you literally only have $50 to your name, this is the one. It's plastic, sure, but it's high-quality plastic that puts those $150 Pro keyboards to shame. The Aula F75. But maybe you don't care about screens. Maybe you just want the best typing experience possible for under $70. That is where the Aula F75 comes in. I honestly don't know how Aula makes money on this. This board went viral last year, and in 2026, it is still the king of Thock. You know that deep, satisfying sound that everyone on TikTok is obsessed with? This board produces that sound effortlessly. It is filled with 5 layers of sound-dampening foam. It's like a lasagna of silence and quality. The switches in here, usually the Leobog Reapers or Greywoods, are incredibly smooth. Typing on this feels like popping bubble wrap that is made of velvet. It's wireless, the battery life is solid, and the stabilizers, the metal bars under the big keys like the spacebar, don't rattle at all. The only downside, the software looks like it was designed in 1995. But once you set your RGB lights, you never have to open it again. If you just want to take a keyboard out of the box, plug it in, and have your friends ask, "Whoa, did you build that?" Get the Aula F75. The Keychron V1 Max now, let's talk about reliability. Sometimes you don't want a toy, you want a tool. You want something that works with a Mac, works with Windows, has perfect wireless connectivity, and won't let you down. Enter the Keychron V1 Max. Keychron has been the old reliable of the keyboard world for a while, but the Max series changes the game. It's got 2.4 GHz wireless, which is just a fancy way of saying no lag. You can game on this without worrying about delay, but the real superpower here is QMK and VIA support. This is for the nerds, or anyone who wants to become a power user. It lets you reprogram every single key on the board using a web browser. Want your caps lock key to act as a mute button? Easy. Want a macro that opens all your work apps with one press? Done. The V1 Max is the safe bet. It's not the flashiest board on this list, but it's the one you buy if you actually have work to do. It's the Toyota Camry of keyboards. It's not going to win a beauty pageant, but it will run forever and get you where you need to go comfortably. The MonsGeek M1V5HE. Okay, gamers, wake up, I see you in the comments. But can I use these for Valorant? What about Rapid Trigger? For a long time, if you wanted Rapid Trigger, that cheat code technology that lets you stop moving instantly in games, you had to buy a Wooting for nearly $200, not anymore. The MonsGeek M1V5HE is the value answer to high-performance gaming. HE stands for Hall Effect. These switches use magnets instead of metal contacts. Because they use magnets, the keyboard knows exactly how far down you are pressing the key, down to the millimeter. You can set the actuation point to be barely a touch. You breathe on the key, and it activates. The M1 V5 isn't just fast, it's built like a tank. It has an aluminum case, so it's heavy. It won't slide around your desk while you're sweating in a 1V3 clutch. Most magnetic keyboards sound terrible, but MonsGeek actually tried to make this one sound decent. It's the perfect middle ground between a sweaty gaming peripheral and a nice custom keyboard. The NuPhy Air 75 V2. Let's switch gears. What if you travel? What if you like that flat laptop-style feel but hate how mushy laptop keyboards are? You need the NuPhy Air 75 V2. This is a low-profile keyboard. It's super thin. You can throw it in your backpack and take it to a coffee shop, and it sits perfectly on top of a MacBook keyboard without pressing the keys underneath. But unlike most thin keyboards, this doesn't feel like typing on wet cardboard. It's mechanical. You get that satisfying click or tactile bump, but in a package that's half the height of a normal keyboard. The V2 version fixed all the issues of the old ones. It has better battery life, faster wireless, and support for QMK/VIA customization. It is the ultimate digital nomad keyboard. If you work in cafes or have a small desk, this is a lifesaver. Plus, it looks incredibly clean with those colorful, flat keycaps. The Chilkey ND75. Now we are entering the danger zone. This is for the people who want to dip their toes into the custom world without losing their sanity. The Chilkey ND75. This board does something I have never seen before at this price point. It is completely screwless. You can take the entire case apart in seconds using a catchball mechanism. It's like magic. Why does this matter? Because it lets you change the mounting style. You can make the keyboard feel stiff and precise or soft and bouncy just by flipping some levers inside. It's like getting 3 keyboards in one. It comes with a massive battery, incredible sound, and a build quality that feels like it should cost $300. The ND stands for no drill or no deformation or something. Honestly, I forget, but it should stand for no doubts. If you are the type of person who likes to tinker, take things apart, and customize your gear, this is the best value sandbox you can play in for 2026. The Wobkey Rainy 75. And finally, we have arrived at the climax. The board that changed the industry. The one that made every other manufacturer panic. The Wobkey Rainy 75. If you have $100 to spend, this is it, period. The Rainy 75 is made of heavy, CNC milled aluminum. It is cold to the touch. It weighs about 4 pounds. If a burglar breaks into your house, you can defend yourself with this keyboard and then go back to typing your essay. But it's not just a heavy metal brick. The sound engineering inside this thing is perfect. It uses a Thocky deep sound profile that sounds undeniably premium. It sounds like rocks hitting each other underwater, in a good way. The anodization, the paint job on the metal, is smoother than boards that cost $400. It comes with a glass weight on the back that looks like jewelry. The switches are hand-picked. The stabilizers are perfect. It makes absolutely no sense that this product exists for this price. It is the end game for 99% of people. You buy this, and you never need to buy another keyboard again. So here is the reality of 2026. You don't need to be rich to have a nice setup anymore. If you have $50, get the Ajazz AK820 Pro. If you want the best typing sound out of the box, get the Aula F7 V. If you need a wireless workhorse for Mac and Windows, get the Keychron V1 Max. If you're a competitive gamer who needs speed, get the MonsGeek M1HE. If you travel, get the NuPhy Air 75. If you want to tinker and customize, get the Chilkey ND75. And if you want the absolute best value, premium, heavy metal experience that puts everything else to shame, get the Rainy 75. The days of overpaying for plastic gaming keyboards are over. Don't be the person still using a mushy, rattling mess. Which one of these would you actually put on your desk? Let me know in the comments.